Hello everybody, my name is stanthesand, and welcome to Doki Doki Literature Club. Oh, the game just popped up in OBS. Now this is a game that I was scrolling through Steam, saw it on the horror category, and got confused. So now I'm trying it out. This game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. I'm gonna assume that has something to do in the future, so please take that. So do this. Just listen to that. Okay. Individuals suffering from anxiety or depression may not have a safe experience playing this game. For content warnings, please visit this website. Okay. If you want to visit that, you can. By playing Doki Doki Literature Club, you agree that you are at least 13 years of age and you consent to your exposure of highly disturbing content. Take this as your warning, okay? Okay? Okay, now it's, color. I've heard this theme before. Alright, here we are. We're in Doki Doki Literature Club. Try to look. Okay. Whoa, what was I thinking? Turn that down, you know. So, I'm actually probably going to re-record this introduction sequence, so I kind of already know what's going on here. But just because this is technically the first episode, we're just going to play a game, okay. Sand. No, just with Stan. Okay, here we go. Okay, like I said, I've already played the introduction sequence, but the rest of it is because I'm re-recording this first part. Okay. Hey, I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance. Oh, one second. Let me probably turn that on. I see an annoying girl running towards me in the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like these. Starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's gonna chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. I overslept again. No kidding. But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You said that you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Stan. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Stan, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. Counter. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible I did, in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content and just when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know? And I know you're happy now, but I'll die at the thought of you becoming neat in a few years because you're not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. School day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's gonna make you feel late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know what? Well, you could come to my club, Sayori. Yeah? There is no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. That's me. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title of vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead, or if she's so cunning as to have planned all of this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. And marks the day I sold my soul for wanting to save my game every 5 seconds. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member. I glance around the room. Kinda empty to me. Oh, never mind. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously? You are a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Stan, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. Honestly, I have some questions about what my character thinks in these situations, because he doesn't care about his friend in this. He doesn't care about his friend in this situation. All he cares about is everyone in the club is incredibly cute. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry, that's Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She's also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. Clearly. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again. Again? I don't remember that part. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Oh, okay. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica. Come sit down, Stan. We made room for you at the table, so you can come sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so there is one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room, where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Looks like it's already open. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! I'm probably gonna cut out that audio. Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers were drawn in with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. Like how everyone's kind of looking worried, and then Natsuki is just happy. Everyone else, especially Monica, you can see the worry. Are they worried about the cupcakes? So cute. Okay, never mind. I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Okay, never mind. Well, you know, just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monica. I follow. It's delicious. Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything. Counter. I thought you technically did. Sayori said. Well, maybe. But not for you, you dummy. Alright. I got confused when saying that. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us, before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori really seemed happy here, so... Wait, that's me. Oh, that's okay. Don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be board member of any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, to be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. I mean, there was an election a few days, like 2 weeks ago. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd rather much take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more... Oh, that's me. Then I'm surprised... I need to pay attention more to this name here, rather than just looking at the characters. Because the character will kind of get a little bigger. I kind of get closer to the camera when they're talking. And I'm trying to pay attention to that, but sometimes I miss it, and I'm doing the voice of one of the characters when I'm talking. Then I'm surprised there aren't many more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. Oh, never mind. I guess they just changed poses. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in pulling out all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events, like the festival, that much more important. I'm confident we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah. We'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were also delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So Stan, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga, I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. Looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds comfort in the world of books, not people. But I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. You know what else is an element of horror? Not saving your game. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. Yeah, you see, the characters kind of like zoom in closer to the camera when they're talking. I guess it only applies when there's multiple on the screen. But if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Oh? Why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? But what? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. Looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud. And give that back. Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems. Everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori slides behind up Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems? Oh, counter. Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you show some of your work, you could set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay. I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzic. I can never spell that right. In all my recordings, I've never said that word correctly. Quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we can all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Stan? Monica smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said that I would join this club. Sayori might have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. Oh no, they all kind of concerned. Now's your time to turn around and run. All four girls. Oh crap! And that's it was like some stare at me. But I'm sorry. I thought, Stan, you all. I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls, that's all you care about? You don't care about what's going to happen in the future? I'm not going to spoil anything, but I think you should think a little harder. Maybe take like a day or something. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. They all seem to kind of ascend a little further into the air. Yes, I'm so happy. Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey, you really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I'd be super pissed. I don't think you really want to piss her off. I really don't think it's a good idea. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Stan, I look forward to see how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey Stan, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right, Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls, Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Alright, that hides it. Alright, here we go. In all my other stuff, I just randomly pick, but I've heard of a hidden ending you can get. But we're not going for that ending just yet. So I'm just gonna go, we're gonna get more endings and we're gonna try 100% in the game, okay? I always wonder what auto does. Okay, so I figured out what auto does. Okay, here we go. And finally, electricity. Hi again, Stan. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Yeah, nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Stan. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me he didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if your plan is just to come here or hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the clubroom. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki flops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Stan always gives his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room was is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Stan can become good friends too. Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know. Wait, Sayori. Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. Oh, what do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. I guess this means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches to her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she'd think I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this, and that is definitely a lie. That's definitely a surefire way of saving my game. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. That doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's faces are already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, as she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time, I'll feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. Looks like the same book she lent to me. More than that, she seems to only be on a few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me, and our eyes meet for a split second. That only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed it in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about anyways? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright, I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison, and while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Haha, Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Stan? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy these kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective, when horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals, their own philosophy that they believe in. And suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one who's letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. So sorry. Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean, Here, this should work, right? I slam my desk until it's up against Yuri's, and then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we lean in a bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so I instead use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Oh, hand reveal. Yuri takes her left arm and holds this left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm, on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page, and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face as she's in the corner of my vision. Well, that doesn't quite look like the corner. Like, the corner of your vision would most likely be, like, on this side here. She's pretty much, like, right in front of you. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? But I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do. since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she's finished the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses a lot of the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or something, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Stan, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing for you to think that. Oh wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that as kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kinda down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. You know what else I've been looking forward to? Saving my game. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright, I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright, I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yes. Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've really never done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait. Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Eh? That's not what you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Stan appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overall cutesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one who's... Okay. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you! Well... It was just... Monica just kind of pops in. Like, I think that's a little... This doesn't involve you! And it just flies off screen again. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turn towards me, as if they just noticed I was standing there. Stan, she's trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point of making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Stan. Oh, wait. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only necessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Stan? Well, how did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, but whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So of course it's gonna be Sayori and Natsuki. Natsuki glares at me, drying up any words I had in my mouth. So instead, I turn to Yuri. But Yuri's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori! Eh? Yeah, everyone's fighting is making Sayori uncomfortable. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this? Stan. Well, that's her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. It's unfair for others to interject their own feelings into our conflict. Yeah, unless Sayori wants to tell Yuri what a stuck-up jerk she's being. She would never. It's your immaturity that made her upset in the first place. Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why no one likes... Stop! Natsuki, Yuri, you guys are my friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people, and I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poems. They're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words. And Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented. So why are we fighting? Because, well... Also, Natsuki's cute and there's nothing wrong with that. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, my expressions react exactly. Sayori stands triumphantly. Monica stands behind her with a bewildered expression. I just got a picture in my head. I can't stop laughing at that. I'll make some tea. Yuri rushes off. Natsuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. So this is why Sayori is vice president, I whisper to Monica. She nods in return. To be honest, I might come off as a good leader, and I can organize things, but I'm not very good with people. I couldn't even bring myself to interject. As president, that's kind of embarrassing of me. Nah. It's not like I can blame you. Wasn't able to say anything either. Well, I guess that just means Sayori is amazing in her own ways, isn't she? You could say that. She might be in her head, but sometimes it's weirdly suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing. I see. Take good care of her, okay? I would hate to see her get herself hurt. That makes two of us. You can count on me. Monica smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. Such a genuine person really does make a good president, regardless of what she says. You should run for president of the United States if you're that good of a president. If only I could get the chance to talk to her a little more. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How'd you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Stan, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learn something from your friends too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little bit more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Stan, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, about what happened earlier. What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've ever seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they make good friends with you. Phew. You know, Stan, it's nice that I get to spend some time with you in the club. I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you, too. That's... Every day is going to be so much fun. Sigh. Looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but... does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori, and the future is bad. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay. Yeah. Let's do this. Let's do what? Oh, the poems. Alright, here's another one we gotta do. Alright, I'm ready to do some clicking. Sweet. I'm actually gonna sort of focus on this one because I really want to get a specific route. Okay, we finished up with the poem. I don't know if I cut past that or not. Alright, another day passes, and it's time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple days. Entering the club room, the usual scene gets me. Oh, oops, greets me. Hi, Stan. Yo, Sayori. I've never said that in my entire life, and I never thought I would. Looks like you're in a good mood today. I'm just still not used to you being in the club, that's all. I see. That's a pretty simple thing to get you in a good mood. But I guess it's always the simple things with you, anyway. Speaking of which, I'm kinda hungry. Me too. Will you come with me to buy a snack? No thanks. That's not like you at all. I have my reasons. Why don't we take a look at your purse, Sayori? Why that, all of a sudden? No reason, really. I just wanted to look at it. Sayori nervously retrieves her coin purse. She fumbles with the latch and gets it open. Then she turns it upside down and lets its contents spill onto the desk. Only 2 small coins fall out. I'm actually laughing at that. I knew it. I could see right through you, Sayori. That's not fair. How'd you even know? It's simple. If you had enough money in the first place, you would have bought a snack before coming to the club room. So either you're not hungry and wanted an excuse to take a walk, or you plan to conveniently forget that you spent all your money so that I would lend you some. But there's one more thing. You're always hungry. Me too. And so that only leaves the one option. I give up. Don't make me feel guilty. If you feel guilty, that means you deserve to feel guilty. Yuri suddenly giggles. I didn't notice she was listening in. Her face is in her book, as always. I wasn't listening or anything. I was just something in my book. Yuri, tell Stan to let me borrow some money. Don't get me involved like that, Sayori. Besides, you should only buy what you can responsibly afford. And frankly, after pulling a mischievous little stunt like that, your suffering is fair enough retribution. I didn't mean that. I got too absorbed in my book. I really like when you speak your mind, Yuri. Doesn't happen much, but it's a fun side of you. There's no way you could think that. You were right, though. I did something bad, and now I have to accept the retribution. Still, coming from you, Sayori, I guess there's a little devil inside all of us, isn't there? Wait a second. I get it. Don't let her fool you. Sayori knows exactly what she's doing. After all, she told you guys she was bringing me to the club before she even told me. But you wouldn't have come if it weren't for the cupcakes. So I had to trick Natsuki into making them. Also, I need to trick the game into thinking I'm saving my game. Come on, give me more credit than that, Sayori. What just happened? Black. Yeah. Out of nowhere, something smacks Sayori in the face and tumbles onto the desk. Ow. What was... A cookie. Sure enough, it's a giant cookie wrapped in plastic. Sayori glances around. Is this a miracle? It's because I paid my restitution. Retribution. Actually, that one almost worked. I was just gonna give it to you, but then I heard you blab about the cupcakes. It was totally worth seeing your reaction, though. Natsuki, that's so nice of you. I'm so happy. Sayori hugs the cookie. Jeez, just eat it. Sayori rapidly tears open the wrapper and takes a big bite. So good. Sayori suddenly claps her hands over her mouth. I bit my tongue. We all... Don't worry, you're not the only one. You're going through a lot over just one cookie. Natsuki takes a bite of her own cookie. Yours looks really good too, Natsuki. Can I try it? Jeez, beggars can't be choosers. But yours is chocolate. Yeah, why do you think I gave you that one? Fine. Still, I'm really happy that you shared this one with me. Sayori gets out of her seat and goes behind Natsuki, then wraps her arms around her. Jeez. I get it. Cookie still in hand, Natsuki reaches up to nudge Sayori off her. Oh! Sayori suddenly leans down and takes a bite out of Natsuki's cookie. Hey! Did you seriously just do that? Mouth full, Sayori trots away to safety. Yuri and I laugh as well. Jeez, you're such a kid sometimes. Monica, can you tell Sayori? Natsuki glances around. Monica isn't in the club room. Where's Monica, anyways? Good question. Have any of you heard anything about her being late today? Not me. Yeah, I haven't either. It's been unusual. I hope she's okay. Of course she's okay. She probably just had something to do today. She's pretty popular after all. Eh? I don't think she has a... I wouldn't be surprised. She's probably more desirable than all of us combined. That's true. Excuse me? Suddenly, the door swings open. Sorry, I'm super sorry. Ah, there you are. I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Eh? Monica chose the club over her boyfriend after all. You're so strong-willed. Boyfriend? What on earth are you talking about? Monica I can never say that word right. Monica glances at me. Never mind that. What held you up anyway? Well, my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I kinda just lost track of time. That makes no sense though. You would have heard the bell ring, at least. I must not have heard it since I was practicing piano. Piano? I wasn't aware you played as well. You played music as well, Monica. I don't really... I kinda just started recently. I've always wanted to learn piano. That's so cool. You should play something for us, Monica. Monica looks at me. Maybe once I get a little better, I will. Yay! That sounds cool. I'd also look forward to it. Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down, Stan. Monica smiles sweetly. I didn't mean any pressure, I didn't mean any pressure or anything like that. Don't worry. I've been practicing a whole lot recently, and I'd really love the chance to share once I'm ready. I see. In that case, best of luck. Thanks. So I didn't miss anything, did I? No, not really. I choose to leave Sayori's mischievous escape. I'm sure Natsuki will end up complaining to her anyway. Looks like everyone has already settled down. Sayori somehow finished her entire cookie. Yuri is back to her book, and Natsuki disappeared into the closet. Man, looks like no one wants to be bothered today. I slumped down into the nearest desk. How am I supposed to occupy myself with something literature-related by myself like this? I guess I could always read some of the book Yuri gave me. I'm feeling a little too tired to read. I could probably fall asleep right now. I closed my eyes and ended up listening in on Sayori's conversation with Monica. We're probably gonna seem really lame compared to all the other clubs, though. Well, we can't give up. The festival is our chance to show everyone what literature is all about. The problem is, the idea of a literature club sounds too dense and intellectual. But it's not like that at all, you know? We just need a way of showing that to everyone. Something that speaks to their creative minds. That doesn't solve the problem, though. Eh? What do you mean? Even if we come up with the most fun thing ever, nobody will come in the first place if it's a literature event. So it's more important to figure out how to get people to show up in the first place, you know? And after they come, we can do all this. We can do the thing to speak to their creative minds. What's this? Sayori's taking this really seriously. It's rare to hear her deliberating like this. Huh, that's a good point. In that case, do you think food will do the trick? What kind? Well, I guess we could. Cupcakes! Good thinking. Natsuki would love to do that. You're right. Natsuki makes the best cupcakes. That works out perfectly. That wasn't why you suggested it? Cupcakes speak to my creative tummy. Cupcakes it is then. I'm hungry. Anyway, we still need to work out the details of the event itself. I find myself smiling. In the end, Sayori is still her usual self. But therein lies the unexpected reason I admire her. Unlike me, who has trouble finding any motivation at all, Sayori can put her mind to things and make them come to life. I suppose that's why I end up letting her get on my case about things. I can't help but wonder what it will be like to see the world through her eyes. Oh, I forgot that. The scares don't come until later. This is still Act 1. The scares aren't in the game yet, and here we are, seeing one of the scares of the game. Sayori in your face. Wow. I open my eyes to find Sayori's face filling my vision. I nearly fall out of my chair. Sorry. Wait. Actually, I'm not sorry at all. It's your fault for sleeping like that. This isn't the napping club. Does our school have a napping club? You're staying up late again, aren't you? Now that you're in a club, you're gonna have less time for anime, you know? You need to get used to it. Don't say that so loud. I glanced over my shoulder to see if Monica overheard. It's true, though. Yeah, I know. You're always looking out for me, Sayori. It's what I do best. That's a problem. What about you? You look out for me better than you look out for yourself. You're still oversleeping every day, aren't you? Not every day. That's not very convincing. How many days this past week have you gotten up on time? It's a secret. I knew it. Come on. At least give me the benefit of the doubt. I can't even do that. Look, Sayori, it's written all over you. Sayori glances around at herself. How is it written all over me? You are clearly in a rush this morning. Look, your hair is sticking out all around here. I run my fingertips down the side of Sayori's hair, trying to straighten it out. Man, you really need a brush for this. My hair is really hard to get right. I won't fall for that. There's more than just your hair. Look, your bow isn't even straight either. And there's a toothpaste stain in your collar right here. I try to wipe off a stain with my finger, but no one will ever notice that. Of course they would. Nobody's gonna tell you about it because they don't want to embarrass you. Fortunately, I don't really care about that. Hey, you meanie. That's me, stanthesand. And you don't even keep your blazer buttoned up. Seriously, Sayori, why do you think you don't have a boyfriend yet? That's super mean. That's me. In the game, of course. Sorry, but you'll thank me later. I start to button her blazer from the bottom. Once you see how much better it looks, you'll change your mind. This is one of the scenes we need for the end of the game. This is so funny. What is? Well, I was just thinking how weird it is to have a friend who does all these kinds of things. What type of shoes are those? Wait, these don't even look like shoes. They look like socks. Sayori, you're not even wearing shoes. I was just thinking. Oh, I've already read that. Don't say that. You'll make me feel weird about it, stupid. It's okay though. I'm happy we're like this. Aren't you? I guess. Hand reveal? Again? First hand reveal. Hey, be careful. The button might come off. Why is this one so hard to close? Does this thing even fit you properly? It did when I bought it. If you ever buttoned it, you would have noticed sooner that it doesn't fit you anymore. What are you smiling about? Oh, crap. Don't say that out loud. Exactly. Anyway, remember, this game is not suitable for children and those who are easily disturbed. You look much better now, so, why does it feel strange to see Sayori's blazer buttoned up like that? It's so stuffy. It's not worth it at all. Sayori hastily unbuttons her blazer once more. Phew, that's so much better. Sayori puts her arms out and twirls around. So if I keep it unbuttoned, then I won't get a boyfriend, right? What kind of logic is that? And why are you saying that like it's a good thing? Because if I had a boyfriend, then he wouldn't let. If I had a boyfriend, then he wouldn't even let you do things like this. Okay. And you take care of me better than anyone else would, so I also take care of my save file. There's so many puns about saving. So that's why I'm keeping it unbuttoned. Oh, crap. Okay. Won't need much more than a few decorations. Sayori has been working on posters, and I've designed some pamphlets we can give out during the event. Okay, that's great and all. That doesn't tell us what we're actually going to be doing for the event. Sorry, I thought you heard about it already. We're gonna be performing. Performing? But, Monica. Yeah, we're gonna have a poetry performance. Each of us are gonna choose a poem to recite during the event. But the cool part is, we're also gonna let anyone else come up and recite poems too. Sayori's putting it all on the posters in case anyone wants to prepare ahead of time. Sayori, who's been coloring a poster, holds it up for us to see. Are you kidding me, Monica? You didn't already start putting those posters up, did you? Well, I did. Do you really think it's that bad of an idea? Well, no. It's not a bad idea. But I didn't sign up for this, you know? There's no way I'm gonna be performing in front of a group of people like that. I agree with Natsuki. I agree with Yuri and Natsuki. I could never, in my life, do something like that. I agree with Yuri. Imagining it, Yuri shakes her head in fear. Guys, no, Sayori. I understand where they're coming from. Remember that Natsuki and Yuri have never shared their poems with anyone until just a couple days ago. It's a lot to ask for them to recite their poems out loud to a whole room full of people. I guess I kind of overlooked that. I'm sorry. But I still think we should give it our best. We're the only ones responsible for the fate of this club. If we start the event and each put on a good performance, then we'll inspire others to do the same. And the more people who perform, the better we'll be able to show everyone what literature is all about. Yeah, it's about expressing your feelings, being intimate with yourself, finding new horizons, and having fun. That's right. And it's those reasons that we are all in this club today. Don't you want to share that with others? To inspire them to find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place? I know you do. I know we all do. If all it takes is standing in front of the room for 2 minutes and reciting a poem, then I know you can do it. Natsuki and Yuri remain silent. Sayori looks worried. No kidding. I guess it leaves me no choice. I agree. I don't think it's too much to ask. I think that Sayori and Monica have been trying really hard to get new members. The least we can do is help them out a little bit. Well, maybe, but looks like Natsuki doesn't have any arguments left. Okay, fine. I guess I'll just have to get it over with. Alright. Phew. Thanks, Natsuki. What about you, Yuri? Yuri dejectedly glances around at everyone's expectant faces. I guess I really don't have a choice. Aha, that's everyone. You're the best, Yuri. This club is seriously gonna be the death of me. Oh gosh. You'll be fine, Yuri. But anyway, let's move on to the main event. I want each of you to choose a poem of yours. We're gonna practice reciting them in front of each other. No, wait. Monica, this is too sudden. Well, if you can't recite your poem in front of the club, how do you expect it to do it in front of strangers? Oh no. Don't worry. I'll start off to help everyone feel a little more comfortable. Can I go next? Of course. Now, let's see. Monica flips through her notebook to the specific poem she has in mind for herself. She then stands behind the podium. The title of the poem is The Way They Fly. After image of the text, My Meadow, Natsuki I thought I knew a lot about the English language, but I'm learning new words every day. It's called jump. I'll be making pamphlets, so let me know ahead of time what you'll be reciting. Thanks, Natsuki, for making this so easy to make a joke, to make a pun out of the title poem. Jeez, I should probably find some other poem to recite instead. That's fine too. It doesn't have to be your own. I'm already pleasantly surprised that you're already putting in all this effort for the club. It makes me really happy. Yeah, no problem. Okay, everyone. I think that's about it for today. I walk home with Sayori once more. Even though it's only been a few days, a lot of things have already changed. You know, you can't walk home with friends anymore because the virus. What would you do? What kind of question is that? You're kind of putting me on the spot here. Well, that's a given. Sayori, you really think I would ditch you for Yuri? But she's so beautiful and smart. Jeez, I already see her in the club every day. Besides, you always seem to really like going home together. I wouldn't just ruin that for you. You're so silly, Stan. Think about me too much sometimes. Yuri would deserve it. Yuri would... Sayori, I've already made up my mind. I really can't figure you out sometimes. Sorry. Besides, what's the point in speculating something that's never gonna happen? The conversation trails off. Okay. Remember, I want to get a specific route. There we go. Crap. Oh man, I'm the last one here again. Don't worry, I just walked in too. Were you practicing piano again? Yeah. You must really have a lot of determination. Starting this club, now picking up piano. Well, maybe not determination, but I guess passion. Remember that the club wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. And I'm super happy that you're all willing to help out for the festival. Hey, it's the editor, me, stanthesand again. I got a little sidetracked and I recorded for an extra 30 minutes. and I didn't realize that the part that you should be seeing now was the beginning of part 2, because you know I re-recorded this part, so since I re-recorded it, I ended up going a little overboard and I forgot when to stop, so I went a little too far. So anyways, this is where this video here is going to end. Like, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff you're supposed to do. I hope you enjoy my editing, and I'll see you on the next episode. Goodbye.